get joined in. 1 second, please. Do 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 do. All right. Awesome. Good. Join in. 1 second, please. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So, what a day today. So it's kind of this narrow range NR7 doji day today on the SPX, and at least we got a little more price action than just straight up in a slow grindy way, right? So that was fun. But anyway, we'll take a look at that in a little bit. Today we're going to be continuing our conversation on trading gaps, and today we're going to be talking about the power move. So hopefully you guys will like this one here. This is a pretty exciting one. So anyway, before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right. Well, first of all, we're going to check and see where we left off with the market today, and then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening, and what might be setting up going into tomorrow. And then we'll take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX today, guys, down $3.97. So just kind of a choppy day today, right? So weekly chart, again, still kind of where it is. Monthly chart still green off of the upper Bollinger Band. Here's your daily chart, right? So this narrow range day, right? We were only 18 points today. This is the narrowest range day back here. On the inside day, it was 23 points, right? We haven't seen a narrow day of 18 points since who knows when. Back here is 26 points. This one was 15. There we go. So not since February, right? So about 2 months ago have we seen a narrow range day like this. What happened about last February, right? So we got a little bit of action right the next day, a little bit of movement. So hopefully here we had a couple little pause days right here, 16 and 21, and then things started to move like the next day with some price action. So hopefully we get a little bit of action tomorrow. It's possible that we could be in this waveform move. It's possible we could be in this wave 4 move right here. This definitely looks like a wave 3 up, right? This could be an A, B. We might see kind of a little more impulsive downside action here. Wave C tomorrow to finish wave 4 before we finish wave 5. Or this is just like a really narrow, choppy wave 4. I mean, like A, B, C, and then let's go, right? I mean, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. So it's a pretty tough call. I mean, really, a lot of these pullbacks really haven't been, necessarily playing with normal Fibonacci. We have the wave 2s haven't been 618s. Like this wave 2 is like a 236. This wave 2 here is like a 382. This wave 4. I mean, is like half of a 236, right? So, all right. So that's what we've been looking at here going into this with this kind of wild move up. So we're continuing to track it, and again, looking for setups intraday. We still find some good stuff. So and some nice possibilities. So anyway, let's take a look at the futures here and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. So we're up about 5 points right now, so it looks like the chop is continuing going into today. We did set fresh all-time highs today, so we'll update all these levels, obviously, in our bubble report for tomorrow. But in the meantime, right, so we had this geometric line really played out well here today. We got the bounce off of it right here for a nice move, and then if you shift the geometric line, you can see, right off the last bounce, you can see we bounced off it again right here, right? And then once we broke below that G, once we actually confirmed below it here, nice inside 15, kind of confirmed below it, right? We got to test some other levels, right? But in the meantime, since we formed a fresh bouncing level right there, we got this geometric line going into tonight, and you could probably triangulate this. It can be really, really tight. So I'm just going to monitor this level going into tomorrow. If we do break below here overnight, right, that wave 4 really could start to play itself out. So keep an eye on that there going into this evening and into tomorrow. So good stuff, guys. So today we're going to be talking about trading gaps again. Good series this week, and today we're going to be talking about the power move. So what are we talking about with the power move? Basically, it's a situation that we had a great example of this one today. It's a situation where you gap up. You don't necessarily you have a closing gap. You don't necessarily gap up over the prior day's high, but you gap up over the prior day's close, right? So you get a nice little gap. And then we look to see how the levels play out off of the intraday levels, right, and off of the prior day's highs. And if we could push through those, this really gives us a nice pushing candle today, right? And so a great example of this today was Roku. So Roku, what a beautiful candle today. Look at this. Let's take a look at this in the daily chart right here. Beautiful day today. Roku is great, guys. We pointed out relative strength on the live stream this morning in our group, and members capitalized on this too. I mean, just very, very nice stuff. We saw a lot of good trades on this one today, and we also had some nice call activity on this in our on our options channel in Discord too. So some pretty cool stuff there with our custom flow. So anyway, Roku, why was this so nice today? Well, let's take a look. Not necessarily, right? Not all the time, but occasionally it does, right? It had a couple of kind of rough days in a row, but notice they were low, decreasing volume each day, right? So if you go to the intraday time frame, one of the things we look at is where we gap up and what's kind of happening pre-market, right? It's very, very important that action pre-market. We can't ignore it, right? I mean, you can, but by ignoring it, right, we lose sight of a couple of key levels. And you can see I've already drawn in a few things right here today. So the first thing I drew in is this turning point pivot from yesterday. Right, this is a very, very important level right here, right? It was a very smooth turn, right? We cracked through it pre-market, right? And then we came back at the open and tested it and quickly bounced off of it. That's a huge move, right? So that is very, very important, right? If you go to the shorter term time frame, you can see exactly where that level is right here, right? So that was just off of the first candle. The first 1 minute candle was not incredibly impressive, right? It wasn't until we saw this nice move right here, this Marubozu candle right here, where things started to get really interesting for Roku today, and that was just a fantastic candle. And then we started to see some volume come in on the next candle right here to get going. So what did we do? Right, we came back, we tested the turning point pivot level here from yesterday, right? That was the first bounce, right? The second one is we showed strength after the bounce, right? A nice strong Marubozu candle, and then we had volume, we had momentum after that too. So just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And then what do we do to get the power move? Well, the next move that we have to do is we have to clear the next major levels, right? So there's two major levels that are here, right? So we've got yesterday's highs, right, and the prior day's highs, and we actually don't need the 1 minute chart for this. What is really amazing with this is the first 15-minute candle where we form our 15 orb. The first 15-minute candle closed above yesterday's high, and it closed above the prior day's high. Right, so it closed above Thursday's high. So really, really cool. So it took out all those highs in one candle right here. This was a power gap, right? It never came back. It never faded the closing gap. It never came back and filled the, it's where it closed right here. We labeled this on our in our group, and we provide that to members. But it never filled its closing gap. So that's open down here, right? And that was it, right? So we just kind of pushed our way off of it. We power moved through the prior day's highs. We power moved through this high, and then where do we go from there? Well, we've got a couple levels that we use intraday, but all you have to do here is go to the daily chart, and you can see what we're kind of walking into, right? So we're coming into this level, right? We cleared this level right here, which corresponded with this level too. We closed above this, and then the next level here was here, right? So that was your next level of selling pressure, and that was where we got today. It was really an incredible move today, guys, on Roku. Just great stuff. Now, all day, was it amazing? No. I mean, it was great at the open, right, and gave us a nice push off of the 15 orb high, right? It gave us a nice move there, a nice retest of the 15 orb, and then a go, right? So good stuff there. And then it got a little bit kind of nasty, right? This candle right here, closing with increased volume over the 80 MA, not fun. I would get out right here, right? But then it came back in again, right? So more volume came in right here, and then it continues to push to get to, we had another target level up here, which it ultimately got to today. Anyway, the power gap, guys, really, really powerful stuff. And it's really interesting how it does it off of the closing gap and using prior day's levels, right? And then the prior day's high. So good stuff there, guys. And it took them all out there with that first candle there on Roku today. So beautiful stuff. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to so we could all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So let's take a look here. So Shirley sent a few in via email. So let's take a look at these here. So she's got RMO. Shirley, I hope you're doing great out there. So let's take a look at RMO. So RMO, guys, let's take a look at this. Let me see. I got my other charts up here. So kind of down a little bit after hours right here. But this is kind of a big mover here today. This had a huge candle on this. I know we've talked about it recently, all the way up to the 200-day moving average, right? So if you go here, what was going on here with this RMO today? Strategic partnership. Okay, so we got a lot of supply battery to PACCAR vehicles, so it had a good partnership deal today. Again, big move on this one today. Huge percent gains, 60% gainer. Very, very nice. Let's take a look at it and see what happened here pre-market. So again, guys, nice move right here. We ended up gapping up, right, and it ended up turning into a power mover, right? So it cleared the prior day's highs on this one, right, and then it cleared the next day's highs. It's just like we talked about on Roku, right, and then this one just kept on going, right? You had a little bit of a bull flag right here. It never closed with increased volume under the 80 MA on the 15-minute chart and just kind of rocked, right? So at this point here, we're at the 200-day moving average, so let's see how that goes there. Potential resistance there, so good stuff there. Let's take a look at Tweeter. So Tweeter, again, decent move today, guys. This is great. Paul, Algo3 too. Had this on the bullish radar yesterday on a dip by here, right? And then it just got the follow through today. Just incredible stuff right from the bubble report this morning. Fantastic stuff on Twitter. So let's see if Twitter can get any follow through to get out of the cloud. DKNG. DKNG finally a decent move here today, right? So and it's up after hours too. I'm not sure if there's any news after hours. Will legalize sports betting. So that was at 4 o'clock tonight. So New York to approve the So New York officially approves legal online sports betting. There you go. So if you guys live in New York, congratulations, you can bet on sports now. All right, cool. So anyway, back over the ADMA. So that's big news here for DKNG. Let's see if it gets any follow through going into tomorrow. Penn, let's say like Penn got hammered today. So again, big move down here. But again, the news is kind of suspect and just kind of nonsense. But it did give a couple good dip buys here today too on Penn. But just kind of interesting weird move on that one today. So anyway, see how it goes. See if we get back over the ADMA on that one. And then GSX. Let's take a look. Again, guys, it's possible. This thing's kind of holding these lows right now. It had a good day today, good volume, right? There's no reason for this thing to be down except them dumping, right? This margin call, dumping shares and all that stuff. So keep an eye on this one, right? See if it works its way up. Could be interesting. Okay, so again, still wouldn't be surprised if it did it for, hung out for, a couple weeks, maybe even a month before going, but it looks like it's trying. So we'll see how it goes. Might even just work its way up to the ADMA or catch up to it. So good stuff there. John, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Bullish and bearish trades. What's happening? Uber. Let's take a look at Uber. Well, Uber guys can't complain about it, right? I mean, it kind of pushed off of here, got to the top of the triangle, so left with an upper shadow here today. See how it holds going into tomorrow. It may still pull back, retest, and then try to break out. At this point now, I just wait for maybe a breakout candle, breakout move, a retest, and then a go. So that would kind of how I would manage this triangle on Uber. So good stuff there. AMD, let's take a look at AMD. So AMD with a upper shadow day back to the 200-day moving average. Kind of interesting there. Up a little bit after hours, so see if it gets a nice little move there. Apple again with a big day yesterday. Today could be the first of hopefully one or two pause days, and then we'll see if it can work its way up on Apple. Great stuff, great charts there. Really appreciate it. Ollie, what's going on? Good to see you. Kramer talking two more SPY up days, and then kaboom. Are we seeing the top? Well, guys, we're getting fresh all-time highs each day. We've got a good wave count on it. Let's see if wave 4 comes in. Maybe we'll get another push up there, wave 5, and after that, we might see a corrective move. So we'll see where that goes there. Bullish bearish trades, yeah, CRM. So I wanted to be super bullish on this one. It closed nicely today, and just kind of some internal stuff was not quite meeting my parameters right here. Let's see what tomorrow turns into. Maybe it'll actually end up kind of pulling back a little bit before going here. It seems to have kind of run out of steam a little bit, looking at lower volume type stuff. But keep an eye on it, see if it gets going tomorrow too. So good stuff there. Muku, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, KL, let's take a look. So, again, with Kirkland Lake, again, could be a double pause day here today. Got a nice spike here after hours. Let's see if we can get over these highs and kind of start to pierce the daily cloud with increasing volume, see if that's ready to get going. And CS Radio, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Michael, what's going on? BE, let's take a look at Bloom Energy. So Bloom Energy has had 2 rough red days in a row. Yesterday had big increased volume to the ADMA, and today kind of closed below it. This actually could be a pause day here for more downside action, right? So we really want to see it kind of reverse back up and get over the ADMA and just kind of get going again with some volume. But right now it's kind of struggling right there off of the EMA. So good stuff there. Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So tops. What's the tops? Okay, so SPAC NFT. I'm so hyped for that, super. I love it. So good stuff there. And then so you got SJ. SJ with a huge gap up today and a reversal, but very, very nice wild move here today. So that gave some actions. GBOX. Let's take a look. So that was a huge breakout candle here today. Let's see if that gives us a pause day to get going on that one. Roku with a breakout candle today. I love it. And then SOS, I know, after hours. Incredible stuff, guys. So what is it? The Wall Street Bets group is up to their shenanigans again, right? So they're all trying to team up, and everybody diamond hand this one going in tomorrow is what they're saying. So it got going yesterday, so we'll see if this thing can make a squeeze. There may be some legitimacy to it. They are talking about that, this is a good mining company, so we'll see. Apparently they're the best mining company on Ethereum, right? So we'll see if it gets any more action on this. So good stuff there. Incredible stuff. I love it. Sup, fam? I know, exactly. I love it. Raging Cat, what's going on? Yeah, Boeing. Yeah, it's an inverted slippery hot dog pattern, right? So a slippery hot dog pattern is where you have both buns on the outside, so 2 green candles, and you've got a slipping. I don't know if I've got one on this one here. Kind of like this one right here. You got 2 buns right here, and you got the slippery hot dog right there, kind of working its way out. That makes it kind of tricky, right? But you know, oftentimes it just kind of shows that there's you know, reversals of reversals going on. So this is kind of interesting too. We were down, we're up, and we're down again, right? So to me, it looks like it might want a little more downside action. Might want to test the ADMA here, and if it breaks below there, it might try to work its way lower again. It's just showing that you know, it's kind of these reversal days. It's like a reversal of reversal. They couldn't take it up here off of a near professional gap, right? So let's see if they can take it down off of that one. So yeah, good stuff right there. I appreciate it, Raging Cow. CS Ray, PLTR. Let's take a look. So PLTR. Again, this name is just getting so tight, right? This thing just needs like some news, right? You know, I don't know. Goldman Sachs to say it's an epic buy, or Morgan Stanley to come and say it's an epic buy, and get some volume in this thing. But it's just been chopping around this ADMA, flat ADMA for a while, right? So we got that going on. And then Roku, yeah, I know exactly. Great bicycle, I love it. So yeah, so that was the power gap, the power move today. I love it. And Raging Cow, yeah, we just got Boeing for you there. And Comlab, what's going on? Good to see you. Good. Let's take a look. So you got NAKD. Let's take a look at this one right here. Yeah, I mean, this one hasn't moved in a long time, right? It had one big candle right here. It had another big push off of it. It got a couple wild days, and look at this. It's just kind of running out of steam, right? So it's just drifting below the ADMA right now. It's just, I mean, not much we can do about it, right? I mean, it may drift down to the 200 and then might try to bounce off of that later, right? But this is not a name I probably wouldn't even mess with. So, Thierry, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at GASXF. Let's take a look. Yeah, nasty pull down on that one, but you know, big volume yesterday, so some good follow through from yesterday. And then the UEC, let's take a look. So UEC with another uranium, nice find on that one there too. Kind of a nasty pullback, but holding a rising ADMA. So see if it's a viable dip on that one too. Roy, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, SOS, just epic, right? Just epic. And what's this thing going to do tomorrow? Hopefully a power gap, right? A power move. So again, it closed red today, right? And we're looking at gapping up right now. We're hitting about 592. So that brings us about here. Okay, so that's a tough area, right? They're going to really have to try to push this thing and get it above this like 640, 639 level if it wants to get up to the 740 level. That's going to be kind of the move right here. But we should definitely keep SOS on the radar tomorrow. It could be in play. Look for some potential halts if it goes crazy. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that one there. So Michael, yeah, ENPH, cool. Yeah, so Solar Names had a little bit of strength here today. This one is up about 5%, got over the ADMA with an inside day. So now what we want to do is see how it handles these inside day highs and lows and see if we can push above it or below it. If not, look for a reversal to come back about 50% of the range if they reject those levels. Okay, so that's inside day tactics on that one. But I do like how it closed over the ADMA on that one. You know, starting to kind of work its way back up again. So good stuff there. Ron C's, let's take a look. Lots of upper shadows on this one. I know SeaWorld, they are talking about opening up California in June. Because apparently June, everything will be fine in June. Now it's just, you know, not today you can't do it, but June everything's good. But anyway, so C's, keep an eye on that one. See how that goes. It's kind of just getting tight up here. Lots of upper shadows, so a little bit of caution off of that one. Ron, APPS, again, Digital Turbine. I love this triangle. This is a profitable company. This is, you know, they had great earnings, last earnings. It's just been kind of chopping around since then. I'm waiting for a breakout on this one, waiting for some indication, some volume, and a potential breakout on it. But very, very good stuff right there. And then Fubo. Another interesting name right here, under the ADMA, hanging on to the 200 day. So again, I'd like to see some volume come into this over the ADMA with a good candle to see if this thing's ready to get going. You still have this geometric level right here, right? So keep an eye on that too as potential resistance going forward as well. So good stuff, Mike. What's happening? Good to see you. Yeah, so let's take a look. So you got SLV. Yeah, so SLV was nice, guys. We talked about this in the bubble report this morning. It's been holding its geometric line pretty nicely. It gave a good move. I think we even talked about it today on the live stream. It gave a good little move today. You know, just kind of hung in there. It's just doing its thing, right? It's doing its the metals thing. It's tough. You know, Wall Street Bets tried to squeeze this thing up, and you know they couldn't really quite get it going. So we'll see how it goes on silver. Good stuff. And Raging Cat, yeah, my pleasure. Michael Phillips, so NCL Edge. Let's take a look. So Norwegian Cruise Lines. Yeah, wow, big move on this one and a big spike after hours on this one too. What's going on with this one? The CDC says cruises could resume by midsummer with restrictions. That's awesome. So apparently in June, right, everything, COVID's gone, right? That's what they're saying, right? So anyways, we'll see. Anyway, knock on wood, right? Let's hopefully everything goes great. But what's the difference between now and then? Is this wild? But anyway, we'll see how it goes. So cruise lines, more news-driven stuff because it's definitely not profit or earnings-driven because they're not cruising, right? So we got that going on there. ILMN, Illuminae. So let's see how that goes. Big gap up on this one here today. Wild move. Again, this is just incredible stuff here today. Canaccord maintains a buy, right? They had a nice Canaccord gave a maintain on this one. Wells Fargo adjusted their price target up on this one. So it got a nice little gap up here today, right to the 50-day. So good stuff there. Let's see if we can reverse and kind of get above it and stay above it, right? So Snap with a nice gap up here this morning too. Gave a little bit of a push, possible doji in the move. Maybe doji's not really a doji sandwich, but let's see if it turns into doji continuation. Could be interesting. And so good stuff there. Yeah, see you straight. My pleasure, Ron. Yeah, UPST. So this is one we actually wrote about this one in the newsletter this weekend. So about this push right here, it is getting tight, right? So it's kind of had this that kind of wild move after earnings, right? And it kind of calmed down a little bit after that. So we're just kind of watching it right here. You got the ADMAs kind of forming the bottom of a triangle. So kind of see how it goes, see how it holds, and maybe we can get some volume break above here and get going again on this one. But it trades monthly options. It's kind of a tricky name, but it had a really great move after earnings. So good stuff there. So Michael, so you're one of those hands, and the diamond hands, I love it. At 480, never do a lesson on diamond handing. I know exactly. That'd be so funny. Today we're going to be talking about becoming diamond hands, right? So as opposed to what is it, like paper hands or something like that. I love it. So Raging Cow, what's going on? So what do you make of the staircase upwards move for Boeing? It's making, if you look at the 30-minute chart since March 26th till now on Boeing. Yeah, I mean, really the big thing with Boeing, right? So here it's just been kind of climbing up. It does look like kind of a potential leading diagonal, right? So this could be the start of a fresh wave one, right? So but we just have to be careful, right? See how it's kind of got that banana shape to it. We've talked about that before. So it could be a fresh wave one grinding its way up here. If that is the case, then look for the slippery inverted hot dog pattern to work its way down. And we might see a 618 retrace here to 242 to get kind of like an ABC move down. Maybe it'll go sideways and get to the pivot level to fulfill that, and then get going again. But Boeing can do a lot of nothing for a long time before it gets going. But when it gets going, it can be pretty epic, right? So good stuff there. So Truth, what's going on? Good to see you. A long time no see. I hope you're doing great. Let's take a look. So you've got, Twitter. Okay, guys, this was a great, big shout out to Paul in our group in the Elliott Wave channel. He pointed this out yesterday on this dip buy. He basically called the low right there, and the follow through today was just incredible. So very nice find on that one. And it was in the bubble report this morning. So nice find there on Twitter. We'll see if we can break over these highs and get through the cloud and just keep going. That would be ideal, right? Otherwise, look for potential retraces on it. Baidu again got really tight yesterday. This is kind of on our radar this morning. We also put Baba in the bubble report this morning for an action name, and that gave a good move. That's something new that we added to our bubble report in the morning, the action names, and that's like stuff that we're looking at. I put out levels out there, that look like they're getting really tight and getting ready to move, and so Baba was one of those that moved today. Baidu again, very interesting here. Nice move off of the inside day. Let's see again, kind of declining volume right here, but kind of maybe working on that kind of banana wave one. Maybe we'll see if it goes to wave two and then gets going again. Right, so definitely keep Baidu on the radar for the next week or so. So good stuff, Bob. Yeah, BLNK. Let's say hope you're doing good. Long time to see. Hope you're doing great. Let's say so. BLNK again, nice bounce off the ADMA right here to the 50-day again after 2 red days. So that's pretty impressive. Let's see if we can get through this thin cloud. We got Thor's twins right there. Right, we'll see if we can kind of rip through there, and then let's take a look at Square. And Square finally with a move here too, guys. This was Paul talked about this weekend, right? Nice little retrace to the ADMA, and then a push there up as well. Let's see if we can it's got a thin cloud above there too, so let's see if we can get through that. Raging Cow, yeah, my pleasure. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great night. And M King, yeah, let's take a look what we got. We got Nike. So Schneikes, let's take a look here. With a nice push up here today on Nike. Not bad, right? So that ended up working its way up to the 50-day. Let's see how it handles that in the cloud, right? And then let's take a look at Neo. Again, good. I'm glad it turned green today because I had 2 rough red days in a row. So let's see if it's low volume, but let's see if we can kind of use that to build upon. So good stuff there. So good. Awesome, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. If you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube and hit the notification button. And even if you're not new here and you're watching the recording, please hit the like button. I always appreciate that. It goes a long way. We go back, we see them, and it really just, it goes a long way. We really appreciate it. So good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. I hope everybody has a great evening. We'll see you all bright and early tomorrow morning, not just in the bubble report and in our group, but also here in YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep video, and also in Twitter, where we put some of our Good Morning, at least snippets of our Good Morning Market Prep stuff there for our group. So hope everybody has an awesome evening. Again, thanks for tuning in. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.